Hello, everybody. This is Justin Case from American Newscape, joining our friend and media personality Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of American Mentoring. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape.
Well, hello, Kurt. Welcome to America's Mentor.
Oh yeah. Well,
What the what the hell? This is
what the
awesome, man.
what the hell? And kind of like the intro, vibrations. Jerry, what's
Yes.
happening? What's happening? What's it all about? What are these vibrations other than what the Beach Boys sang to us?
Well, first off, today is National Winston Churchill Day, man. So this is our finest hour right now. This is you guys got to check out America's Newscape, and you and I a little plug going back and forth. This is our finest hour. We have a good time here.
We do.
So now that I got that off my chest, man, I'll get into vibration a little bit for you guys out there. Did you see the news? Well, like 2 days ago, we had a little rumbling up here.
Well, yeah, we made a lot of jokes of it down here because we have magnitude sevens and sixes and fives all the time.
Yeah, but for us, I mean, I can't even say the expletives that were going on, with everybody. And here I am working, and all of a sudden, everybody's screaming, "Earthquake! Vibrations! Earthquake!" I'm like, I didn't feel nothing, and I was because I was focused on my work. And vibrations can be in our lives in a metaphysical way, a silent killer, or it can be your biggest dream come true. And people don't realize we give off vibrations constantly. Every second of the day, we're giving off the energy that we are attracting every single day. And when you realize what kind of vibrations you're giving off, you realize what life is giving back to you. As some people realize the shaking in the earth the other day, I didn't feel nothing, but vibrations, you don't feel them, but you experience the outer effects from it. And this is what people got to grasp for themselves. When you understand what you're vibrating, you'll realize what you're attracting.
Well, yeah, it's a complex thing. I mean, there's lots of layers to these vibrations. And even,
Yes.
You Easterners, there's something about earthquakes that some people may have experienced back there, but the big earthquakes, you can hear them coming. And the longer
Yeah.
you hear them coming, the worse it's going to be. And it sounds like a freight train coming, just like a tornado.
Great metaphor. Great metaphor to live by. How you act is what you attract. And we live off the vibrations that we're bringing to us because we just keep reacting what's going on around us. And if people can grasp this kind of karmic way of living, you realize you only get what you give in life. If you're giving off a good vibe out there, you're going to get back good vibes. They have toxic thoughts or tonic thoughts. What are you giving out every single day? I asked myself that yesterday. I had a day where I was like a radio station, the hits just kept on coming because I was giving off a crappy vibration. I was getting a crappy result to my day until I realized at the end of the day, I pulled a Moses parting the Red Sea and said, wait, what did I just create? And when you get to that point, you'll realize what kind of energy you're sending off. It's that recognition to that silent energy that we can't see, but we only see the after effects of.
Well, you're right, Jerry. Even people like you and I that put a lot of effort into what we put out there because we believe in this, find ourselves in this trap. We get into a day and the alligators are chomping at our heels, and basically we're responsible, just like we're responsible for everything around
Oh,
us.
great point. Yeah, absolutely. And few people will admit that. Yeah, that's a great point. Responsibility. I didn't realize it until hours later, and I created the day that I did. But that when you understand what you're creating, you'll realize what you're attracting, and that realization or epiphany, excuse me,
Yeah, it's a
will
word.
really change a lot of people's habits in life. Look at Winston Churchill. I mean, the guy lived to 90 years old. He was jacking scotch and cigars all day long. Didn't make a difference. But his vibration, his leadership, his stoic way of living every single day carried him those 9 decades, and indeed carried England as well in so many ways. He wasn't an angel per se, but it's his way of thinking that created his life.
Well, you're right. He showed courage under fire, extreme fire,
Oh
and
my goodness, yeah.
he's a remarkable man. But I don't think he would have wanted to live next door to him.
Yeah. Nah. he was very outspoken, as all English people are. God bless him. I wish I could have that kind of courage. But think about what he endured. I mean, we
Yeah.
got people. I'm losing friends in their 50s and 40s and 60s. This guy lived to be 99 decades, and what he went through compared to what people are going through now, I'm still trying to figure it out and share with my own audience as well as yours to help us realize what kind of vibration are we sending out every day? How are we feeling? What kind of emotion are we sending out every day for the world around us to be created around us?
Well, yeah, and you're right. And when you use Churchill, it was that confidence. I mean, he knew that come hell or high water, he was going to get everybody. And we're talking about the world where the world needed to be.
Yes. Oh yeah. He also practiced the mirror technique, like you do. So apparently you must have been reading upon him. He was a big fan of the mirror technique. But I love these deceased notables because it's the information that they gave us because of the results that they obtained. My question is, how did they get that far? What kind of mindset? And if we all had that kind of mindset, how better our lives would be because we have all the technology behind us right now. Those guys had pens and paper and a typewriter, for crying out loud. We have every facet of convenience, but yet people are dropping literally in 4 decades, 5 decades, and early 6 decades. And this is my mission. I mean, to show the world and you as well by our own example of what we're giving out every day, and it's showing it us as people.
Well, I hope so, Jerry. That is our primary goal. And, even, taking a few moments to think about Winston Churchill, and, maybe a lot of, if we have any semblance of a younger audience, they may not even realize who he was. But he was
I
the prime,
know.
he was the prime minister of England when Germany started bombing London.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it's sad because if you go to any library now, there's nobody there. And this is where all the golden information is stored. Granted, we have the internet now, but to really get into that environment, you go to the libraries are like ghost towns now, and it's a sad cause. Granted, I'm a nerd, so I kind of live there, but at the same time, if people would just do a little history and start modeling the mindsets of these people that lived up there back then without all that medical technology that we have today. It's absolutely amazing how long these people lived without all the conveniences that we have today. So people got to really grasp it for themselves. What kind of energy are you sending out every day to destroy yourself? And true transformation is you taking that energy you're giving out every day and flipping it and turning it into a different butterfly of evolution of you as a person. And if people can grasp this for themselves, it's truly a lifesaver. It saved my life because 10 years ago, I was on that path to expire very soon because it's just the way I thought. Not the way I live, but the way I thought. The negativity and the toxicity in my thoughts every single day were virtually destroying me from the inside out. And when people grasp that thoughts do become things, maybe they'll find some answers why things are happening in their life.
Jerry, we can gather a lot of direction and good vibrations from historic figures. I have a couple I depend on, and most people that have not read them wouldn't understand it. But the first one would be Paul Revere because of the life that he lived and overcame. And the second one, because I'm a little strange, would have been Teddy Roosevelt because of how he lived.
Oh, he lived large.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
He did.
he was Trump with a mustache, man. He loved light. He loved This is why the Great Plains, he was so infatuated with the Great Plains. He just loved that life, looking out at this vast of God's creation. He loved all that. And people, and this, you bring up a great point. He saw the little things about life that really, really inspired him, just as other deceased notables out there. When you start seeing the little things and appreciating those little things, they grow into a lot bigger things, tangible things in your life, just by your change of vibration and an attitude about yourself, and most importantly, the life that you're living.
And something I had the gift of recognizing at a young age is I was in my late teens, and I was at a very big political function of about 400 people at the Del Webb Townhouse in Phoenix, Arizona. And in walked John Rhodes, who was Speaker of the House at that time, and nobody cared. And in walked Barry Goldwater, and
Oh,
and everybody looked up and saw it was Barry and made note that it was Barry, and nobody cared. And then in walked a football coach that was about 5'10" and probably the most frightening football coach in history, other than Lombardi, and his name was Frank Cush. And everybody
wow.
turned, and the whole room went quiet. It was like Frank Cush is here, and that that
Yeah,
was
it's
that,
amazing.
that was an epiphany to me because of the way he lived and the respect he had in the community. Barry Goldwater was loved. John Rhodes, well, nobody could say anything nice about John Rhodes, but Frank Cush, and just a nasty, nasty, nasty human being, but he lived large. You say that term, living large, and that means a lot, and I don't think we
Yeah.
recognize that enough.
It
You know,
doesn't have to be a tangible way. It's a thought process. You know what I mean?
well, yeah, it's like, what has J Lo done for us? Well, not much, 'cause some good music, but damn it, she lives large, and nobody's really
The
lived.
attitude.
Yeah, exactly. The
It's
persona.
all attitude. And people have used that against these successful people as self-absorbed. It's not. It's just a lust for life and a lust for everything life has to give us. I mean, we were taught not to be something, just to be servitudes to a society that needs more servants. And but life was given to us on a silver platter. It's our choice what we do with it. And I hope people can grasp that. Getting back to Goldwater, very good. That guy was a preamble to the next person that I'm going to talk about, because you and I have, our lives are all the same. And ignorance was bliss in my teens as I stood in front of Pepe's Pizza. I don't know if you ever
Ah,
heard of Pepe's Pizza in New Haven.
no, but I bet it. I
I
bet
used
it.
to live down. I, Go ahead.
I bet it smelled good outside of Pepe's Pizza.
I used to live down there, and I worked across the street at a restaurant. 18 years old, I'm standing out there, the leg on the wall, a big old Marlboro cigarette in my hand, in my waiter's outfit,
Wow.
and walked past me was a 6'4" monster and a little 5'5" monster. That was Ronald Reagan and his wife, surrounded by all the Secret Service, but people were allowed back then. You're talking the early 80s. Were allowed back then to be close to them, as long as they had a circumference around them. But they basically walked right past me. I did not know who this man was. And it woke me up to the fact that the presence of somebody can have such an impact on people. And that was like the starting point. That was what, 30, 40 years ago. That was a starting point. None of my political aspirations as far as writing and so forth, but about leadership.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
presence, I mean, you could hear a pin drop when he walked by. The whole street shut down. There was thousands of people. I thought it was an Italian festival. It was a campaign stop. And it was a great experience, just like the epiphany you had. I had the same kind of experience. And I hope everybody has those experiences in life, because it's a great wake-up call, because ignorance indeed is bliss. When you realize what you're sending out, you realize what you're getting. When you start understanding, you start learning.
Well, and I think that's a burden all of us should accept. We need to learn. We need to grow. We need to grow. It's
and fail.
part of our moving forward.
Yes, and fail. Fail miserably. Because if you're failing, at least you're trying.
Well, I
You know what
agree.
I mean? And you and I have failed miserably, and we have to.
And will again.
I left my medals in the closet, man.
Yeah.
I got like an army general on my that I can wear on my chest. But what great experiences to share with the audience here tonight. That I hope they can reflect and understand that we all can have these kind of experiences and growth, and it'll change how we think. Therefore, change our emotion, change our vibration, and then change our destiny.
I like that, Jerry. And you want to leave us with a final thought and we'll get out of here?
I just did.
Okay, I liked it. I
No,
think.
I'm kidding.
I almost heard it.
Absolutely. Every thought, just think of it this way: every thought is a creation, and I'll leave it at that because people will realize what they're bringing in life.
Well, and every action as well. So, hey, everybody. This has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you American Mentoring. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this video's Read More. Today is the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.